Hi guys, PJ back again with another No Man's Sky video. This time we are tackling the basics of how to get an interceptor ship. Yeah, one of the Sentinel jobbies that's sort of all the rage at the moment. They've just come out with this update and everybody seems to want one or a few or to scrap them for the money, etc, etc. So without further ado, here is a real basics how to get one, and I'm also giving you the location of a particular one here. Now if I do find any interesting ones in the future, I will post very short videos on the location of where they are, but this one's a pretty good one. It looks pretty decent, and the address, the sequence to get there via the Stargate as I call them, I'm sure everybody else calls them a Stargate as well, is being posted up right in front of you. Now you can just stumble across these things, you can just find them, you know, by going to volatile type planets, etc. But, you know, if you've got a little guide like this, it's a lot easier to just go to the actual address and find it. Now, if you haven't completed the storyline and you can't access these Stargates, the only way you're going to get to one is if basically you know somebody that's built a base on a planet, so they've got a portal you can use. Or if you're really stuck, you know, send us a message on YouTube. We've got a base set up, a little base set up at a couple of different locations for these interceptor ships. So we could add you, you could come through the portal and then be on your merry way to go and get your ship. But hey, hopefully this guide will do. I mean, you really should complete the story anyway. It's a fantastic little story and you get to use these glyphs, which is cool. So, you know, it's really worth doing. Anyway, this takes us to, well, an ice planet. And the first thing we're going to do is turn off multiplayer. Okay, so some of these locations get bombarded with players once word gets around. I myself have found a few on Reddit and a couple of other different places, and if you don't turn multiplayer off, you can lose the ship while you're trying to get it. But hey, first things first, we need a collection of bits and bobs, so to speak. Now on these corrupted planets, you're going to see, you know, stuff like these, well, purple things everywhere. These purple things are everywhere. This is a resonator, and from this you're going to get an inverted mirror. To be able to claim a ship, you are going to need 3 radiant shards, 1 inverted mirror, and 1 harmonic brain. Now, the harmonic brain is actually from the crashed ship, so you've got to really go searching for that. Pretty simple stuff to get these type of things. These inverted mirrors, it's basically a case of shoot this thing until it blows up. Now there is little sentinels around, as you can see, they're not really too bothered. And yes, this Minotaur's weaponry isn't really upgraded, so it does take a while to kill them. This is a reasonably new account that I'm using, so this Minotaur is not super powerful. There's a lot of you who have been playing the game a long time are going, oh, that's going to take ages to kill that. Why didn't it just blow up straight away? Well, that's basically why. Now I recommend you sort of have a wander around and collect a few of these things. It's handy to have a stash of inverted mirrors and all the other bits and bobs that you're going to need. Now the radiant shards are like a bigger crystal structure to the little ones that are dotted around on the floor. So if you look sort of around where this mirror is at the moment, to the right there's some little tiny shards. It's not those. Now you can harvest those, don't get me wrong, you know, they're useful as well and they're worth something, but you're looking for, well, pretty big, as you'll see. This particular one that we're going up to in the background behind this mirror, you see how big they are? They're standing up there in the background. So we've got our 3 radiant shards on the final one here, and then we're going to make our way over to that one, do the same thing. We're going to destroy them, and then it gets a bit weird because you sort of have to cause trouble. You don't need a Minotaur, by the way. I was just using it because I love Minotaurs. You could just run around, you know, using your normal weapon and just kill them off that way. They do destroy pretty damn quickly. But anyway, when you get over to these things are pretty cool. They make a bit of a weird sort of crackly noise, and they've got a nice little animation going on. Overall, this update is, you know, fantastic. And just as a little off-topic thing, if you're at a space station, go and talk to the AI, the computer, because it's got new dialogue, and it makes you think that there's something big coming, maybe with the next update. Who knows? Anyway, let's get back on topic. Next up, kill some stuff and annoy them. So you're going to get basically a wanted rating. This one, you can see there is 2 red dots. We need it to get to 5-star, so 5 red dots. Fastest way I found of doing this is basically go into space. and wait for their Sentinel spaceships to arrive and start destroying them. If you're new to the game, you just basically press the trigger and hold it, and it will auto lock onto their ships one after the other. You don't have to be a fantastic flyer or anything, and then just shoot them and blow them all up. When it gets to 5 stars, one of their big frigates will arrive, and you guessed it, you've got to blow that up as well. Now, if you're struggling with this, obviously lower the difficulty right down so that it's nice and easy. You know, if you've not got a brilliant ship or it's just finding it too difficult, just pop the difficulty down. It makes no odds. It can be on a nice easy setting and you will still get what you need. So 5 is as high as it goes. I'm going to kill off all the little ones here so we can concentrate on the mothership or frigate or whatever you want to call it. So it basically dies reasonably quickly, not too bad. Nice big explosion there. But it drops us a goodie. So when it's finished doing its lovely little animation there, it's going to drop us something that we need. This rare item, Dreadnought AI Fragment. Now this bit gives us the location of a downed ship. In other words, a ship that you can go and take over. Click on it to search the archive, and it will basically present you with an outline of a ship that you can go and find, go and get. And you basically fly down to it. There you go. Spike coordinates, I think that says. Dissonant spike coordinates. They're normally really near. They're normally on the planet you've collected all your shards and stuff like that from. Fly down to it and, well, collect the bits off it is the way I'll put it. There's normally 3 things you collect off them. You want to collect them all. And as for ship designs, there's loads of different ones. It's sort of potluck as to what you get and what it looks like and how it moves when you get in it, because some of the wings unfold, and you know, it's personal preference as to what you like the look of. This particular one has an animation and the wings move on it, etc. It's quite a nice one. So that, you know, coordinates I gave you at the start there, if you want this particular one, you know where it is. So we're going to get the brain. That's probably the most important part. You'll end up probably collecting a few of them. Collect all the other bits as well, and you might as well. And then when you've done that, you're basically going to go into your inventory and click on the brain. So showing there I've got 6 brains at the moment, and its status is volatile. Yeah, so we've activated the brain, clicked on it, and it does a pulse scan. It's now going to show you another ship marker on the planet. So it's going to pan up, and there's another ship marker. It's not a ship. It's ancient alien ruins, basically, and we've got to hightail it off over to the ancient ruins and present the brain to them. Yeah, that's a bit weird. Now, like I was saying earlier about being in single player, if you do this in multiplayer and you collect the brain, somebody can be nabbing the ship while you're here doing all this, and you go back and it's glitched and it's invisible, it's not there. So make sure you're doing this in single player, turn off your multiplayer. So anyway, you present the brain and it's now docile after a bit of whirring and crackling and some text coming up telling you what's going on. So the brain now likes you and doesn't want to basically rip your arms and legs off and feed you to the Sentinels, which is always a good thing. So we can now go back and start claiming our ship, which is quite a nice ship. I do like these ships, and the interior is fantastic. There we go, put everything back. There's the basic ship. This is a B class. There can be absolutely any class. You know, they can be all over the place. But check out the interior, look at that. Really, really nice. And down below is all sort of red, as you'll see a little bit later on, and some broken wires going on. They're just a cool thing to have, and yes, you can upgrade them. The main thing with these ships is they can hover. So normal ships are sort of like trotter along a little bit. This one will actually stay completely stationary if you want to harvest stuff. So you can just basically hover and shoot. Ideal. Great looking ship. Hopefully this guide was helpful. If it was, fantastic. I hope you get yourself some nice Sentinel ships. Like I say, if you're really stuck, reach out to us and we'll see if we can get you nearby one. Thanks a lot for watching, and bye for now.